Hi everyone, how's it going? Welcome to my match review of Nottingham Forest versus Chelsea, a 2-2 draw at Stamford Bridge. Huge, massive point for Forest in this relegation battle. A point closer to safety, hopefully that is what it is, and it's not just a nice surprise to see us not lose for once away from home. And we matched Chelsea in most areas. There was only really the period between when they first scored and their second goal where I felt we kind of lost our way a bit. And thankfully for once, we didn't just let it be a lead that slipped away from us. We managed to get something back from it, and that is the most satisfying thing from this game. So looking at the team, I was happy with it. I was a bit surprised to see Johnson took out the team because of how important he is to us. But then I looked at it and thought, okay, Liverpool, we took Brennan out and that worked to a degree. Obviously, he didn't score in that, or we didn't get anything from it, but I think it worked. Again, bringing Brennan on, or the idea was good. Obviously, he didn't actually do a great deal. When he did come on, he didn't get much service, but that was when we were sitting back most of the time, and I think at that moment it was the right thing to do. So, of course, going back to 3 at the back, Wall coming into the team, great performance from him again. I think he, again, is silencing a lot of people that have criticised him, including me to a degree. I know that Wall's not been amazing at times this season, but he's also putting some really solid performances like today. Of course, 3 in midfield, Yates, Mangala, Danilo being slightly further forward, of course, and Taiwo. 4 goals in 2 games. That is absolutely brilliant to see that he's finally getting some consistent goals into his game now, and that's great. Really happy for him, and I think it shows how much we missed him when he was injured. From the start of the game, I felt we were looking really solid. Chelsea were dominating possession as you'd expect them to. It's what we always tend to do. We have an awful lot less of the ball compared to the opposition, and I felt that was not a surprise. But we took our chance when it came. A really good ball in from Lodi and a great header from Taiwo. Of course, we held on until 5 minutes into the second half. A poor bit of defending really from Forest. One of the few times that we switched off in that second half. Well, the whole game, quite frankly, actually. The whole game was one of the few times we made a mistake, and Sterling punished us. It was a great second goal from Sterling as well, but we lost our way in midfield. Mangala gave the ball away, and it was kind of obvious what was going to happen. And like I say earlier, I feel it was the only time that we really looked a bit all at sea in that game. Besides that, we had an element of control at all times, and that's so different to so many other away games like Villa. Make a horrendous mistake and suddenly that's game over. We got back into it, and I was really happy the way we responded to it. It just shows, the last 3 games we've been so much better away from home. Despite the fact we lost 2 of them, we finally have something to show for it now against Chelsea, and I think we can only be happy with that. And since Brighton, really since Liverpool, performances have really improved, and it's a really welcome surprise. I didn't see it coming, honestly. After this Leeds game, I think all of us feared the worst. And then obviously Villa and United just outclassed in both games, and we were still pretty subjected to the idea of being relegated, essentially. But from Anfield, lots of positives to take from performances. We've suddenly been scoring goals, 2 goals there, 3, 1, 4, 2. It's great to see. We're finally scoring goals now. Of course, 2 tough games to come, Arsenal and Crystal Palace. Arsenal is going to be incredibly difficult to get something from it, but a few things going in our favour. We have got a good record against Arsenal, albeit 2 very different teams that played Arsenal in those 2 previous games at home. And ultimately, Arsenal are a totally different beast to when we last played them at City Ground. They're now going for the title, even though I feel they're second favourites to win it now. They're still, who knows, it might be over by then, but I don't think it will be. Arsenal are going to be going all out, no matter who you play. No matter when you play Arsenal, it's going to be tough, and particularly this season. So it's going to be a real big ask to see us get something from that game, but I feel City Ground back him. We can beat anyone at home. We held Man City when we weren't playing as well as what we have done the last several games. Probably the most consistent period of form all season, I think we're in right now. And Crystal Palace, I think, seeing how we played here at Chelsea, it's going to be tough. Palace have done really well under Roy Hodgson, so it's not going to be easy, but it's not impossible. Obviously, looking at the table, 16th, 3 points clear because Leeds got that point at Newcastle, which was frustrating to see. Everton play City tomorrow. Leicester play Liverpool. You'd hope and think that they both lose those games. You look at Everton's running. They've got, well, obviously Man City, and then they've got Wolves and Bournemouth. So Bournemouth, it's not impossible for them to get something from that. They could get something from that. Wolves isn't impossible, but I feel they might lose that, to be honest, because Wolves are pretty good at home. And then you look at Leicester. Just thought I'd go over this being as we're talking about the running. Liverpool, like I say, tough. Newcastle is incredibly tough. And West Ham, that is winnable for them, if we're being honest. And we may as well look at Leeds, of course. I did a video about this just the other week, even though it's slightly out of date now, about the relegation battle. If you want to go and watch that, there's a video link just there. Leeds, of course, great point for them today against Newcastle. They've got West Ham, Spurs to come. Could win the West Ham game maybe, but it's tough. Who knows, Spurs as well, because how bad Spurs are. But yeah, it's going to be fascinating. That's what I know. It's going to be fascinating. Some positives, a lot of positives to take from this performance. Defended well deep into the injury time period. Chelsea had a lot of the ball. But I really felt like we matched them in so many areas, and it was just really refreshing to see us go to a team away from home and take them toe-to-toe the whole time, and especially Chelsea. I know Chelsea are poor this season, and that showed in this game, but you know, it's still Chelsea. They've still got lots of players that can hurt you, and I really felt we matched them throughout the whole game, minus that period where they scored their 2 goals. But yeah, lots of positives to take. I'm looking forward to the final 2 games. We're nearly there, hopefully, but never write anything off. Let's just see. If you have enjoyed this review, everyone, please hit the like button, subscribe to Rads if you're new. Great performance, great point. On to Arsenal and then Palace. And yeah, thank you for watching, everyone. Up the Rads.